Really?
You knew
She
there
was
was 1 minute.
making
I
hand
was
signals.
saying go. I was saying let's go. It's not my fault you're not paying attention to me on the screen.
No.
I'm eating a slice of pizza.
There are other things to. Okay, and whose fault is that?
It's no one's fault. It's a blessing.
Hi, friends. The energy for this session is going to be fantastic. I can already see. Hello. Welcome to another episode of The Mind and the Martyr. I want pizza now. Why did you do this? Why?
Because it's a blessing.
I mean, you're correct, but also
Okay, I'll see you next week. We're all going.
we're all going to go get pizza. We'll catch you in a bit. Yeah, we've got a bit of a smaller crew as life does what life does. So we're just going to be here doing a little bit of in character chatter and things like that, and just introduce Hiroki truly into the party and see what else happens, I suppose. But before we go ahead and jump into that, there are a few folks that help keep us on the air. You just spotted the Dice Envy affiliation there. There is also Grinding Coffee Co., a Black LGBT plus owned coffee company that make all original blends. They're fantastic. They support a whole bunch of streamers in the scene as well, including us. You can throw in FWRD for some money off your order in checkout. You can grab a sample pack of a few different flavors or just go with what you like. There's a really good chocolate cinnamon flavor blend thing that is my absolute favorite. It's so good. But yeah, you should go ahead and check them out at Grinding Coffee Co. We are also a Roll20 ambassador stream. Roll20 is an online toolset that allows you to bring your pen and paper RPGs to the screen worldwide. It's a fantastic toolset for getting people into RPGs, as well as just getting to play with your friends across the pond. British person hanging out with mostly Americans all the time. Laughs in it's 2 a.m. But yeah, you can go ahead and sign up for free and just get to playing straight away. Or you can go ahead and sign up for one of their pro packages, which gets you access to a whole bunch of new and exciting tools to keep your games fresh and step them up to the next level for your players and for everyone else as well. There's also a marketplace where you can pick up maps, art assets, and the like, and you can pick up entire TTRPGs that have been converted into Roll20, ready to play. Whether that be the well-known favorites or fantastic new indie games that you can go ahead and fall in love with. So yeah, definitely go ahead and check them out at roll20.net. This is how we roll. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into the session here for Mind of the Martyr. So, quite a bit has happened at this point. We're at episode 82. Quite a lot's been going on. We've been working through figuring out what exactly is happening with the individuals disappearing from various towns and cities. And as the story has gone along, we've discovered some kind of interplanar conflict, an interplanar threat that is beginning to slowly kind of break its way into the material plane here, where we had left the main continent that a lot of these individuals have been spending their time from our party here. We were kind of in a bit of a waiting game to see exactly what we could figure out what was happening. And as the experts were on it, the party decided to take a bit of a holiday and follow a different thread here. So discovering that a creature had been treated poorly and looking to get to the bottom of what exactly was happening. The party traveled away from this continent and to another one, specifically to the country, of Salia, and the port town of Tarkiza. on that route, we had encountered an old, decadent, and incredibly well armed warship where we had met Iris, a current member of our party, and in Tarkiza, after a bit of a clash with a strange individual who had escaped the local bar, you all ran into Hiroki, who is currently accompanying the party during this little escapade as well. Tracking down that individual who you had identified as one of the individuals who had messed with these creatures, you hunt down an old abandoned spot in Tarkiza, which turned out to be a den of what appears to be animal trading. These creatures frozen in time, seemingly being caged and transported to other locations. And you had correctly ascertained that something weird was going on here, and there were ties to the Magicanum, this governing magic board that likes to portray itself as perfect, but you're beginning to find more and more cracks as you continue your journey. There was conflict in this house as well, running into an individual who was quickly eviscerated by the rest of the party. Not without some pain and some wounds and some casualties across some members of the party. Investigating this room, Hiroki found a cycle that had apparently connected and resonated with their magic. So Hiroki now has their appropriate magical girl, magical boy way of getting some transport around. And the rest of the party investigates down here, finds out that indeed these creatures were being sent to other locations, and had found some kind of summoning portal in here with some strange primordial magics attached to it. But exactly what and how this works, didn't quite figure that out when we last left off. But that's kind of where we're picking up as everybody.
Oh, don't forget about the secret worship room that they're worshiping something.
Oh yes, and yes, in one of the side rooms there was indeed a rather strange shrine with a coin and decorations, but you couldn't quite locate exactly who or what they were revering. The iconography was relatively unknown to the majority of you. But yeah, as this is all kind of taking place and people are learning things, there's a lot of dead space that narratively we've gone ahead and kind of passed over, which does give you an opportunity to chat, to do whatever you fancy, really, as we go ahead and pick up, and I hand the reins over to you. I'm just gonna chill and
Can we say just narratively so we can set the scene that after everything we went into Jacaranda's
greenhouse?
Yes, thank you. You know, that exists out of time and space. Is that a thing? Wasn't that a thing?
not necessarily time.
Maybe
but
not
definitely
time, but space.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
not like the library.
It's not like the library, but
no.
we don't. Yeah, we're just like, okay, we need to chill. We need to long rest.
We need to rest.
We need to long rest before we go anywhere
Nap
else.
time.
You can definitely hang out there for a little bit and use the pocket dimension to play a bit of Stardew Valley, play a bit of Harvest Moon on the side.
No, we're playing Zoo Tycoon right now.
Rest. Yes, it's more Zoo Tycoon.
It's more
there
Zoo
are
Tycoon right now.
Many cages and things in here that as you plan to eventually release or at least rehome a lot of these creatures. And there are a few pieces of paperwork that you still have that you haven't looked over, but yeah, you can go ahead and hide inside of there as you're working out your next moves.
Tea, please. Please.
What?
I need something to calm my nerves. Tea?
Oh,
Tea?
yes.
Can I have tea? Please,
Would you,
please.
would you like a chamomile blend, or would you just like a chamomile paste at this point? Do you need something stronger? I don't usually carry anything harder, but I'm sure. Actually, that one's gonna reach.
You have any of your Nana's tea?
I have some of my Nana's tea, and I also have, and Down's gonna reach into the bag of holding, and you can hear like clinking of bottles because I'm fairly sure there's some alcohol left in there from a previous adventure that you and I were not part of.
Just as long as you don't get the really black stuff.
Here's the tea.
Mara knows that's bad.
And here's Dawn pulls out the black stuff and just throws it back in and pulls out some gin, maybe? I don't know. No. If you want something harder, I don't recommend, I wouldn't normally recommend, mixing your uppers and your downers and your alcohol with your tea if you need to calm down. However, we've been through a lot, and my girlfriend did sprint down a hallway, get harpooned in the stomach, then sent to another dimension, only to return to us from behind a wall in a separate room. So could you pass over that bottle? And she's just gonna pour like a little teacup full. Because that one doesn't drink, but it's been stressful. And I'm going to hold up, like, this isn't tea or anything, but just like hold up the tea and the bottle of alcohol towards Hiroki so that he can choose which one he wants. Or both. Both is good.
Hiroki seeing this, he'll walk over, take a sniff at the gin, go, nope, I don't feel like liquid Christmas tree. Hand that back. I'll take the tea.
Wise choice. And Dawn's also gonna pull out some of her grandmother's cookies because she has that. And this is a cookie time. This is a tea party time.
Tea and snacks?
Tea and snacks. We need to get our energy up. As many hit points as we can get. And I think we just need to breathe unburdened for a bit, not inside a damp basement. Or are you okay?
Maybe. So, Hiroki, I have questions. So I believe the universe sends us those in times of need. But how do you speak Celestial, or at least read Celestial?
I guess it would be easiest, and I'm going to use my once per day thing of making wings. So one of my parents is celestial, so I kind of inherited some of that. I'm not exactly human. I'm not exactly not, but I'm what's known as an ASMR. So yeah, wings. They're shiny and kind of luminescent, pale gold.
Well, that's why you're so shiny. Just literally every bit of you, externally and internally. You're just a radiant person.
I mean, simply put, yes.
That's fascinating. So wait, how did you, and are you just traveling places and you ended up here?
Well, I mean, my primary job is I make fancy, like, hot drinks. Not alcoholic drinks, but just fancy hot drinks. That are well, they're nice to drink and have a number of flavors in them. But my calling has always been to help others, and I may or may not have gotten myself involved in some black market medicines. No. It's not for stealing them. It was so that people who couldn't get the hold of the medicine they needed to actually get the medicines to them. And since I was, helping move and ship my hot drink ingredients, it made it fairly easy to change ledgers and adjust crates to make it so that the medicines could get where they needed to be. And the most recent shipment ended up in Turquesa, so I came with it and was helping distribute the medicine.
Are you knowledgeable in medicines then?
Not really.
You're more of a distributor. Still.
I mean, I can heal, but I'm kind of really, really bad at identifying various plants and what they do.
Understood. Well, if you ever wanted to learn, I would be happy to teach you.
Yes, Dewan is the best cleric in the world.
I take it also Jacaranda also knows a bit about plants, right?
Well, yes.
As they
She-
are a plant.
Or a plant.
They
Stares at the plant creature.
I suppose Jacaranda would probably know more about any and all plants than I, because she could just ask them. Huh.
Talks to plants quite frequently.
That one's having an existential crisis now.
We also
Wait.
have
I
Very-
did not know plants made good conversationalists.
strange plants at home that
I think it depends on the plant. I feel like Jacaranda's had some very unhelpful conversations with plants and also some very interesting conversations with plants.
I wonder if the plants would like to be friends with me. Of which, can I call you my friends?
We've shed blood together at this point. I think that's that one's gonna look over at Mara. I think that's a sign that we are good friends.
well, since I asked the universe for help and you showed up, most definitely.
How can I? You asked the universe for help. How can I help? That's what I want to do. I want to help.
Okay, so Mara tells the story.
The
Okay.
saga.
There are these beings from another plane. They have tentacles on their face. And well, they're kidnapping people from this plane. And we're not sure if they're using them for food or what. But apparently, these same beings were here eons ago. And they made a deal with the powerful beings that were living here that they wouldn't come here. But then someone from the Magicarnum recently went over to their plane.
We don't like
and
the Magicarnum.
Don't get me started on them. Well, and then so the beings in the other plane are now having a civil war because half of them think, well, if we came over there, they can now come over here because it kind of violated whatever agreement was before. And there is this saying that we've seen over and over. What is the saying, Ray? Because I don't remember. Some prophecy about the sun and the moon and darkness. And Mara would
Yes.
remember. I don't
Yes.
remember.
I feel like I wrote it down somewhere.
That was like a year ago. Going back through a year of notes is
Deep
Yeah,
dive.
feels like that.
It was like a year ago. I'm serious. I mean, in game time, it was like last week, but
Yes.
real time, it was like a year ago.
So, what you're looking for
Remember?
is what you had seen etched into the ships,
Right.
right?
Right.
So to put out the myriad suns to darken the light.
Yes, that. To put out the myriad suns to darken the light. It's some kind of prophecy from their world or mantra or something, but we've seen it like everywhere.
This-
So
this-
then, go ahead.
This very much disturbs Hiroki because he believes in bringing light.
And we, with all the disappearances, we figured out where the ship from the other realm was going to appear next, and we went and we intercepted it so we could maybe try to save people. But it all went wrong. We weren't able to save people, but we did get some information, and now the Queen of Ensaya knows. And she's coming up with a plan with, the rest of the world leaders on how we're going to address this threat.
She's also a
Well,
dragon, in case you weren't aware of that. I feel like you might see her draconic form again. So
Mara is like, we're just telling all the business. Okay. And so
we're putting it all out there. We said we were gonna share with our friends, and Hiroki is gonna be here for a while. Maybe not for a while.
Yes, but that may not have been our thing to tell. But whatever. I mean, now he's part dragon too.
It wasn't like we were told it. It was more like it happened, and we were riding her all of a sudden.
Well, this is true. But yeah, so the leaders are trying to figure out what can be done. And so while they're trying to figure out what they want done, because our little group is not powerful enough to take on these beings. But we do have an ace in the hole. One of the beings befriended us a while ago when they were a little worm.
Oh, right. Yes. Befriended.
And
sure. Partnered?
Sure. Partnered?
Hey, don't diss the power of friendship. That love and friendship is the most powerful force in the universe.
They have not stabbed us in the back, so at this point, and they know everything, so I would say they're friends.
Hiroki. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a history check, Hiroki?
Uh, 17.
Okay. Pangs of this conversation feel familiar. Little snippets of bedtime stories, fairy tales that you'd heard as a kid. Specifically from your more celestial side of a conflict that had ripped through this material plane a long time ago, and the heroes who had stepped up to delay that tide. And it's just little snippets of that older conflict feel familiar to you. Certainly told in a very different light by Mara and Dewan, but you recognize the stories of as they had come to be known, the ones who stood before, these old ancient beings of just pure energy and power, and very strange in comparison to the modern creatures. Yeah, you know that the Celestials had short dealings with these creatures a very, very, very long time ago. Nothing, dramatic. There weren't any conflicts or battles or anything like that. But the ones who stood before had traveled across many planes during their existence, and the Celestials were aware of them. And those little kind of pops into the planes kind of just became myth, fairy tales, stories, legends, as it were. But yeah.
I've heard of some of this. They were more bedtime stories when I was growing up, but you're saying that the stories of the other planar beings and the heroes that had to keep them at bay are real?
Yes.
You heard stories of these from who? Because we wouldn't. It's not a. Sorry, It's not
Yeah, we didn't know any information.
Yeah, I was gonna say this doesn't sound familiar to us at all.
No, the conflict between the creatures, the squiggly faces, as Mara calls them, and the ones who stood before. Yeah, the ones who stood before that conflict is so ancient that there's not really any written history left in Vega, which is why no one else that you've met so far recognizes any of this. It's only through your first-hand experience. So yeah, this is weird.
Right. And what we saw, through what we know is what we saw through Harmony's little history thing. But yeah, Mara would say, as far as we can tell, yes.
Okay.
And the only advice we've gotten from beings who are way more powerful than us and have dealt with this before is to negotiate. But I don't know that that's an option this time.
They don't seem to be willing to talk. Not that we've really tried, but not that we really want to try it.
However, they are in the midst of a civil war about this, so if we can talk to the right faction, we might be able to prevent. But it's getting there, maybe. But we're letting the world leaders decide what they want to do, because kingdoms aren't our responsibility.
We're not big fans of politics.
But we're fans of keeping people alive.
And we're fans of saving people, as many people as we can. It was a really hard hit for the group when we had to leave some people behind in the ship. And that one's going to trail off and look towards Nawi, who I'm assuming everyone else is taking care of the many animals around.
Popping in and out, popping in to handle things, and then heading out to continue to have a look around, grab what information they can. Yeah, you'll see them going up.
But when we were in Salia, there was a temple, and while everyone else was busy, I went in and asked for help, because this is so much bigger than all of us. And then the universe sent us you and Iris.
Well, if it means anything, I'm here to do whatever I can to help. Because, you know what? We have a world to protect.
Do.
It's kind of huge.
Won't be able to do it alone.
No.
But I think we can do this together.
With the power of friendship?
Oh, of course. As I said, the power of friendship, the power of love and friendship, that can, make or break worlds in the right or wrong hands. again, the most powerful force of the universe. I mean, I can't solely wield it myself, but I believe in it.
I think I believe in it too.
Mara would look up at you and she would say, Hiroki, can I have a hug?
Oh, of course.
Come on, you knew it was
I
coming.
know.
Yessie.
There's gonna be a comforting hand on your back pat from Dawan.
So Mara comes over and hugs Hiroki. And
Hiroki-
breathes a sigh of relief.
Just gives a big hug, and since his wings are still out, they'll wrap gently around
Double
the back as well.
hug.
I feel we still need to figure out what's going on here, but I mean, I'm sure the queen would have contacted us if they had made any decisions.
Oh, speaking of contacting one another, Naui said something about a group chat.
Oh, Mara would make her ring appear. Well, we have these rings of mind shielding that we had made by Uncle Kata. And he put in there so that we can chat with each other through the rings.
We've gotten extra
Oh.
rings. I feel like we should have gotten extra rings.
So you're not just like so in sync with one another to have an idea of what the other's going through. I just thought your bonds of friendship were just so strong that you were able to communicate without words.
I mean, that one's gonna
Um,
look at her ring as well. We're all wearing rings, so I guess in a sense we are all committed to one another. What have we done?
Wait,
We do have rings.
we do have rings.
Hmm.
We do. They're Marco, the one. I think we have
Do
rings
we have
in the
extra
bag.
rings?
I'm pretty sure Orin and Eridan gave us their rings back. We just got Eridan's when
That's
we were
right.
in the
Uh,
Emerald, and Orin left his before he left.
that one's gonna reach elbow deep into the bag of holding. Not even elbow deep, shoulder deep. I just like this. I'm going to forever use this trope. It's my favorite trope. You cannot stop me. And fish around a little bit. You hear more clanking, and then pull out 2 rings. Would you like to join our party officially?
Yeah. I would be honored to fight alongside you.
This seems so serious, Mara. This is I never thought of how serious. Here's your ring. To lasting commitments. And I'm going to go find Iris. I'll be right back. And I'm just gonna go find Iris. And you hear from a distance Dawn saying, "This does not mean we're new hug friends." We are still not hug friends to Iris.
Just in the background, this has gone a lot faster than I thought it was going to be, and I'm a little, I'm flattered.
We
I'm
are
flattered.
friends. We are not
Like,
hugging
just like a
buddies. We are
scene
friends.
plays out. Hiroki, you can add a ring of mind shielding to your
Cool.
collection.
We've got magical goodies. Stick with us.
Ignore the ignore the political chaos and the horrible beasties. So, well, it's fine. We got magical stuff.
We
Minor
keep-
details, right?
We were gifted land
Oh my
and
gosh, that's
a
right.
keep by the queen.
We had a house. They have a castle.
We had to have it built. We have a whole
I think
entourage
that
of
one's
people
gonna
who
come
live
back.
there.
So it's like a bed and breakfast? Or do people just live there?
Both.
They're guards to keep us
But it's
and it's safe.
and there's a
But we do
small
have
clinic
farmers.
where locals can come.
And have phoenixes. I think they're still eggs at this point. I don't know that they've hatched. At least they hadn't hatched when we left a week ago.
It feels like we left many, many months ago. But in fact, it has been a mere
Many
7
moons
days.
ago. In a week.
I would love to visit this someday. When
I mean,
we
we probably
taken
had.
care
We
of
just came.
protecting the world.
We came here to find the cats. So this is meant
vacation.
to be a fun
Vacation,
beach
kind of.
episode. Whatever that's supposed to mean.
You do animal rescue as your vacation? Oh, that's so
We do.
wonderful of all of you.
Sometimes we
do.
put animal rescue above other things that should
We
probably
do.
take precedent.
Relaxing is very important. You have to remember to rest your own bodies before helping others sometimes.
So, do you have any questions for us? I feel like we've dumped a lot of information onto you, and you just tagged our merry band of adventurers from. Weren't you fighting someone in a burning building? What was this? Wasn't there an explosion? No,
Wasn't-
I
I
rolled
thought
up to
you
the
were running from the
I
explosion.
thought.
I ran to the explosion
Yes.
because
yes.
I saw that there's a
yes.
building
We passed each other.
on fire and figured I needed to help.
We didn't catch that guy, right? He left.
He had gotten away, and you were what little you could track
Mhm,
of that individual. You tracked the house.
I thought the cat led us to the house.
I thought it was.
Yes.
I thought it was the cat.
Yeah, the cat, like, none of you were able to track the individual, but the cat did.
Okay.
So you had the cat had led you to the house. Yes.
But the individual was not here when we got here.
Not that you saw, no.
See.
Of which
Mars,
where
like,
did that cat
keep
go?
up.
You said you're out chasing a cat.
Mar
Is
would
that the
call
cat
Shikari.
still in here?
Where did the
Say,
cat go?
hey, you want to bring the kitten?
Right, outside
It's
the
outside
house,
with
and we
Shikari.
left them
Shikari's
a
watching.
few hours ago. Oh no, I fully believe it.
Shikari's
I just,
stealthy.
because these past few hours have been really full of information and fighting. Yeah, feels like
It's
we've
been
been
a lot.
in this house for weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I only met you,
And now we gave you a
earlier this
ring.
morning, and it's been a lot.
Friendship,
Wow.
fate.
Ring of friendship.
Universe. Not fate. Me and fate, we don't get along. The universe, sure.
I don't know if
sure.
we want
Fate,
to go insulting fate. I don't. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not particularly religious. Fate is fickle.
Listen,
Fate
fate is
almost-
fickle.
Fate never goes the way you intend it to. My sister was actually supposed to be, well, was supposed to have my job. Not my coffee making job, but my sister was supposed to be the one with the power of friendship.
Was she not friendly?
Okay, I need to hear this story.
Well, so we all knew that, like everyone in the village knew that my sister was supposed to be the one to gain the power of friendship and be able to do the warlock things that I do. But on the day of the trial, me being me, I went with her to provide support and my friendship to her. And then somehow I was the one that got picked to get the powers of friendship.
Was your sister happy about
Disappointed?
that? Sad
Okay. That's
about
good.
that?
Oh,
Good. Healthy
she was
family.
overjoyed
Relationships. Good.
Oh, good. That's good. Good. Yes.
because she wanted to go off and study various plants at university, and I went with her to be supportive, and then I ended up with the powers of friendship by, I guess, believing in my sisters and my bond of
That's-
friendship.
So it's fitting for you.
But I was just so supportive that I guess I got to be the one chosen.
So is she the one that supplies you with the plants that you delivered? Or does she just generally I'd love to meet your sister. I feel like she would know a lot about plants.
She studied them and wanted to learn more about, like, being an wanting to run an apothecary was her ultimate goal.
I feel like your sister and I should meet. So wait, what was your goal before you were imbued with the power of friendship?
Help
I see.
others
Of
wherever
course.
and however I
This
can.
makes sense. Thus, the power of friendship.
Exactly.
Seems admirable. Coming from a bard who likes to tell stories and write songs to empower people, and a cleric who heals.
Yes. So, warlock. That means
Yes.
you have like someone who's like giving you, sharing their power with you.
Well,
So
not someone, at least not to my knowledge. I get my powers from the power of friendship.
Really, Mara, keep up.
okay. I mean, I get my powers from the chaos of the universe, so the power
It's not
of
like
friendship.
a-
Sure.
It's not like an entity that you see. It's just a.
Makes sense.
I've never
sure?
seen anyone that gives me
Well-
power or anything.
Well, because we've met the embodiment of harmony, and
I
I've
would
met
love to meet them.
the embodiment of sanctuary.
Wow. That sounds amazing. I would love to meet these well, not yes, they're not people, entities.
If there was
I
a
was just wondering if there was an
friendship.
embodiment of friendship.
I guess I'm the embody am I the embodiment of friendship?
Maybe.
I don't know. I've never met an entity associated with friendship other than, well, Me and the previous warlock of
Who was the
friendship.
previous warlock of friendship?
Uh,
This,
that was a great uncle of mine. No, great aunt of mine. And that again, it's a family kind of a family thing. Which is why we all thought my sister was going to be the next to get the power of friendship
I see.
and be the warlock of friendship.
is your sister older? Is this like older sibling passed down to next older sibling? How does this work? This passing down of warlock of friendshipness.
Well, oftentimes it's the previous warlock of friendship will die. But this time the previous warlock of friendship just decided that it was not their time to continue, well, running around the world and kind of doing what we're doing, or what I do. It just became too much for them.
So they retired.
So they retired by offering the power back, and then that meant the next warlock of friendship needed to
When you
come into
say
being.
offered the powers back, they don't
You
die,
think-
do they? They just lose. Okay, okay. He wouldn't die.
No. My aunt is happily at home, knitting quilts. She's still doing good. Just not being in charge of spreading friendship
I see.
and believing in the power of friendship everywhere she goes.
She's in retirement.
Yeah.
Do you think
She knitted me a really wonderful pair of I guess they're kind of mitten-like things, but they're great for when I have to pick up the hot drinks to give to people.
Do you think she maybe felt what was coming? With the squiggly faces?
Maybe. Next time I'm home, I'll ask. I mean, it's
Do you
possible.
go home often?
Not currently. I've been too busy trying to, well, do as much good as I can in this broken world we're living in. And that doesn't leave me a lot of time to go home.
I understand that.
If you're home on this in this plane?
Oh yes.
Where do celestials
Um
live? They're like a mountain. Maybe name Olympus. I'm just kidding.
there is a mountain.
there is
it's
a
not called
mountain.
Olympus. There is a mountain. I only know the name of it in Celestial. Not I can't figure out how to say the name of the mountain in Common. Sorry. I'll try to come up with a translation for that. But at the moment, my brain is not helping me come up with a good translation.
What about in Dragon?
I don't know Dragon.
Oh. Just thought everyone knew Dragon. I know Dragon, Dewan knows Dragon,
Now he's part dragon.
Does Naui know Dragon?
Now he knows Dragon.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Jacaranda knows dragon.
I don't know if Jacaranda knows Dragon, but I'm not sure how Jacaranda knows Common, so.
Yeah, I don't know Dragon. Wait. I think it might be something like place of harmony. I think that's a decent translation.
That doesn't ring any bells, does it? I was
besides a
speaking
place where harmony's actually living.
to our dear.
As I said, I've never met.
Roll me a.
I mean,
roll me a
clearly
history check.
it brings up where Harmony lives. Do we remember what the mountain where Harmony lives is? What the mountain is called? I do not know. It's just it's a
Wasn't a mountain,
cave,
it was
right?
like-
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a
and
cave
underneath-
system. Yeah,
I
it's
mean- I never pulled up my character sheet. Oops. All right, what? You would
rather
think.
helpful when you are playing D&D.
Listen, I thought we were just
To know
it
what
was
your
fun
character
time.
was.
What am I rolling?
History.
Does 26 work?
26 works. So first and foremost, a lot of stuff in Vega is naturally in Celestial. One of the few pieces of history that did survive into modern history is certain names. So like the days of the week, the months, that kind of thing, they're all Celestial words. So the names themselves kind of pique an interest for that reason, as well as the obvious reason. But nothing clicks as a place you would have been to or read about. Which is understandable, considering you have traveled significantly, but not globally. You know, there's a lot of parts of Vega that you still haven't seen.
So where you live, it's just a bunch of celestials?
Not a bunch. There's me, my sister, my mom, her sister. After that, I don't know.
You don't know who else lives in the mount? Oh, I see. I understand.
No, I don't know any other
Got it.
Celestials.
Oh.
Ugh.
I mean, there's a number of other humans
Yes.
and others that live there, but Celestials, I only know four.
I see.
Four
I
of us?
understand. Few and far between.
So the warlock of friendship passes down on your celestial side?
Yeah.
Of your family? How old are you?
But how old
22?
are you
Is this like a
Right.
wait? Are celestial years different than human years? Is it like dog years to
Are-
human
I don't-
years?
shifter years to human
Elf
years? Aren't
years
those
to
shifters
human
live longer?
years?
Because
I would say, well, I'm just human and I expect everyone to be older than me. Except for
I know better.
Jacaranda. I know
I know better.
Jacaranda's not older.
I'm not going to ask.
Or maybe she is
I'm-
older? I don't know.
It's impolite to ask a woman of their age. So I'm not going to ask.
I mean, I think I'm
I
the
need to
baby of the
know
group.
if shifter years are
know.
longer than human years, right? I will Google this.
Depends what kind of shifter.
Or are they
So,
shorter than human years? We did.
Broke the DM.
That triggered a sudden cough in me, apparently. Yeah. So shifters, like in general, will roughly live about the same as humans. But one, depending on the kind of shifter, some will live a little shorter, some will live a little longer. And two, the passage of time for shifters is very different.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I was just wondering because you said you heard bedtime stories about these beings who lived eons and eons or visited eons and eons and eons ago. So that's why I thought maybe you were a bit older.
No. It's just they're stories that were passed down through my family.
Oh, okay. You're the first celestial I've ever met. As far as I know. I mean, there could have been secret agent celestials that I didn't know they were celestial. Just like I didn't even know the queen was a dragon.
Not until just now. Other than my family, I haven't really met any celestials before either.
So you said your sister went to the university. Is it run by the Magic Carnum?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good. Those people are selfish to say the least, are evil asses. Worse. They have been experimenting on creatures and
Like the ones we
splicing.
had here?
Well, we've seen a Kruthic and worm hybrid. We've seen giant worms that they've experimented on.
This might have, I don't know if any of this
Who
is
knows what
connected,
else?
but they might have started small before they went giant worm big.
Sounds like we need to stage a rescue mission for the animals there as well.
Rescue
That's our next
missions all
vacation, right?
around.
I mean, maybe. They're kind of hard to track down.
This is Jesse speaking. Did we ever get a location that they were going to head after the island incident? Because we were tracking, right? We were like plotting where they were going, and so that's how we figured out that it was the island. Because it was like
you had
one
tracked
spot.
the
Yeah.
the creatures, the disappearances. You had essentially looked at a map and kind of plotted out a course. They hit the island. You dealt with that situation. You never made an attempt to
we should
plot
do that.
beyond that. at the
Right,
time,
because
so.
well, we figured that we were
Mhm.
gonna wait for the queen first, see what she wanted to do, and then we figured that since we did thwart them, that it could have changed their plans. At least that's Mara's thought. She's like, until we find out what the queen and the leaders want to do, and because I think basically at this point we're gonna try to go over there. So that's why Mara's trying to hire this ship. But yeah, because since they all survived and went back to their lands, figure they know we're on to them. No more stealth stealing of people.
Or
Mara's figuring
if they do steal more people, a little, it's gonna be different. Although they were opening, we know that they were opening. This is like more for me trying to remember it. We know that they were. It was a fixed location because they were opening the same gates, tear, whatever you want to call it, and that the Earth was rotating underneath that tear.
Correct.
So the location changed.
Correct. Exactly. You have essentially discovered until this point that it is, a fixed point that they have essentially waited by, and that's why there is time in between a lot of these abductions, because the actual tear itself doesn't move. The planet does underneath.
and we basically have that plotted out, even though we haven't discussed it, because we probably plan on us getting there early and just going through their tear.
You'd plotted up
if
until
we
the
can.
island. You'd plotted up until the island. Anything else beyond that, you didn't spend the time to look into at the time.
Right, because we had 3 days or something like that.
Yeah, you didn't have a long time. But if you were to return back to a area where you had the tools, individuals who are skilled in cartography and the like, you would have the capacity to work out the next few patterns. But nothing in Tarkiza, like nothing in terms of like background traffic or chatter has caught your attention to like there being another attack recently.
They're laying low.
Because if there was an attack, it would be vaguely around this area at this point.
That's
the way
good.
The planet
There's an
rotates.
attack. We're close by.
And I hear there's a ship I can hijack. Oh.
It's probably about now that you hear some soft padded footsteps as Shikari approaches you, Mara, and kind of just nuzzles a little closer. And you can see where the fox like ears have kind of puffed up. You can see that his head's a little kind of scraggly with fur. It's kind of, as you look down, you can see small little tufts of purple underneath his fur as this small creature has just kind of curled itself up and fallen asleep in between his ears.
Aww.
Mara would say, we decided to rest, so we're gonna stay here for a bit. But we found all these animals. She points to this whole zoo.
Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of just frozen inanimate creatures in cages. Just
right, because we don't know
what we're gonna do with these.
Put them in stasis, right?
we know if they belong to anyone?
As far as I know, they were probably captured like
If there
this
was
little
any
guy.
information.
He was kept in this, and she would hold up the Pokeball because that's the only way to describe it.
This capturing orb.
He was kept in this.
Nolly
Oh,
was in
shit.
something like
She
that,
was, wasn't she?
wasn't she?
Not quite the same. The orb of energy that pulled, if that's what you're talking about, the orb of energy that pulled Nawi away to a separate plane was definitely an active spell.
Okay.
This is more of a magical item. Speaking of which, actually, Hiroki, roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. Uh, 17. I can do math.
Thanks, one of us.
I can pretend to do math.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you know exactly what this is. It's called a toon. Toun. It is used a lot back home for various different things. It's essentially just a little storage space. It's actually, weirdly enough, you probably know it more from your barista experience. Toons are used to keep perishables, essentially. These small things have their own little. Not only can you store a lot in a very small amount of space, but they also have their own atmosphere inside. So they're used to keep perishables, fresh. But they're very expensive. They're very, not like rare. They're definitely uncommon, and you've definitely never heard of anyone trying to use them on actual living creatures. They're mostly just used in the food storage business. It's a catering tool to you.
Oh, I've seen that. We use that for shipping
For
dairy.
food?
Yeah?
Like someone was going to eat the kitten.
I don't think so. I've never seen it being used for live animal, but it as far as I can tell, it's kind of like the pocket dimension we're in right now in the Genjakanana's greenhouse. It's got its own environment and it helps keep foodstuffs fresh. They're very expensive.
And he had several, right? We saw several the guy had.
Yes. Yeah, he had there's a few of them still upstairs on the side. It looks like the magic has been spent in them, however, as it is this one seems to still have the one that you have at the moment still seems to still have a bit of life in it, but the ones before upstairs, they've kind of just been discarded on the side. So he may have more elsewhere, but yeah.
And he said he had captured 5 of the cats.
Yes. Yeah.
So at least there are 4 more cats somewhere, and we didn't find them here. So I'm guessing they were transported through that portal we found. But it seems to be broken, or at least I can't figure out how to use it.
Is this the portal with the inscription? Okay,
I think some of the symbols are scratched out.
we already tried repairing it. Could we recreate the portal using the same inscriptions? Just not crossed out? Arcana check.
Quarters look expensive.
Arcana check.
Only one way to find out. Sure, go for it.
You will
I will
assist.
assist. We're having this conversation.
Which
Yes.
will give me advantage.
Advantage. Yes.
It does indeed.
No, I would
Which
like. I mean, I
she
don't
did
need.
not.
I guess. Fuck. 15, 16, 14. Wait, shit. Hang on. Fuck. It's over here. Oh no.
14, 15, 16, somewhere vaguely around
Let's
that
go with
area.
16. But my second roll was a nat 1, so it's not 16.
Okay, so 16.
Why did that go? No, it's not.
Okay. This isn't really your area of expertise. You mostly deal with the primordial constant rather than the arcane one. So things like conjuration and summoning are a little out of your wheelhouse, other than the, the spirits that you are able to conjure, but creating actual life forms is a little beyond your purview, perhaps. But there's only one way to find out.
We try it.
I like that was in character, just aimed at the two of them, just, we try.
Sure.
Okay, how can I help?
I mean,
What's
don't
the
think
worst
we'll
that can happen?
explode.
We're sent to a different plane of existence, and one of our party members has to go find us. I hope it is my turn. Damn it! It's time for Naoi to come find me. Maybe then she'll learn to stop running down hallways and into other dimensions. I'm upset.
Okay. Shikari, you and the kitty stay here. We'll be hopefully right back.
So now it's just the three of us staring at this broken portal.
Portal.
Okay.
Yep.
I would like all three of you to make me, I guess, arcana checks to see how well you can recreate this.
Sure thing. That's an 11.
15.
Natural 20 plus 5 for 25.
Yay, magic users. Samara was gonna bluff. She's like, you know what? I have clay. I can make an indentation. And then just
I mean, like,
smooth
yeah,
it.
that one's gonna hold up her
That's the
alchemist
simple
supplies
way,
with like
right?
a teeny tiny, I don't know, chisel and shit. Like, I got tools.
Now, that was going to be my next question of just how
I have
how do you
alchemist
actually
supplies, so I'm gonna
contribute
pull
to
out my
this
alchemist
project
supplies.
here?
I'm sure they come with many things to smash or carve things out of rocks. Whatever. And I also have my thieves' tools. So I'm sure that there is a way to carve into rock with the thieves' tool. I might break some lockpicks, but whatever. Then hell, let me check my inventory. I have a small knife.
Okay. Hiroki. Hiroki, how are you helping this this process? What are you kind of focusing on?
I think he's going to take the concept of using like armor of Agathis, of building out a structure with magic.
Okay,
So just
I
kind of
like that.
using the concepts of, okay, I know that I can make armor for myself this way. Can I do this and make a thing appear in front of me instead of being on me?
It's much better than both of our
Interesting.
contributions.
I like that. Okay. So using your existing knowledge of a spell of creation and trying to apply it in an unorthodox way, while you also have clay and alchemical support from your two allies here, you did get a natural 20, so that definitely does affect the order of operations here. One quick question I want to ask is, are you using any of the materials or taking apart the old one? Or are you purely just creating something new?
Of the old one, the runes that were carved in it. Didn't you say that they were glowing? Wasn't there something special about them, or were they just runes? Were they just runes?
It was more the entire construct itself, this two kind of like golden semicircular pieces, like almost
Okay, so
indented into this section here. And they were indeed covered with like
okay,
both
so you said
arcane
golden.
and celestial runes around.
Is it like a paint? Is it like a metal inlay? Is it like a magic?
No, it's gold. It's pure gold that has been enchanted. Or at some point was enchanted. And there's still, as Hiroki judged last time, like there's still a magical like signature across this thing,
Okay,
but whatever
so
it
maybe
is not currently active.
So before we go into this room, though, Mara would take out her movable rod, post it up, tie ropes to each of our waists, just in case.
Should we tell them where we're going? Okay.
So you construct this replica, this likeness. You carve in what you understand from the other piece, and this currently doesn't do anything. The way you've said it, it's a very good likeness. It's a very good recreation, and your work together has solidified this thing, but nothing quite happens just yet. There's the natural 20. There is this this moment, Hiroki, this kind of innocent little thought that just kind of comes into your head. Just, oh, you know what? Maybe this thing just needs a jump start. And you just, there's a blast of that familiar, sparkly energy that kind of you pulse through this construction, and it suddenly shakes and whirs in place. Even though it's not mechanical, it seems to almost be making mechanical sounds as this energy pulses through and materializing before you. It starts as like this pinky purple sparkle, and then fades into almost liquid gold in front of you. This shimmering, moving liquid gold portal that appears before you. You can immediately tell, all three of you, without needing a check, that it is currently functional, but it is unstable and it's not going to last long. Your recreation was good, but it wasn't perfect.
We also have no idea where it's taking us.
Juan, do you have the flower that
if Jacaranda gave me a flower,
Jacaranda
yes,
gave you?
I would still have this flower.
Can I have it? And Mara throws it through the portal. Jacaranda will be able to
okay.
take a look later. I don't have any seeds with me that she's familiar with, but she's familiar with the flower.
Threw it into the nether portal.
The flower will be fine.
Can we check on the flower? This isn't gonna hold.
If it's
Right, we'll be able to see
but
on
like,
the other. This is to prevent us from
stick our
having to
head
go
in
to
and
the other
see
side.
what's on the other side. If
I lose you, I will kill you.
the two of you hold on to my arms and I stick my head into the portal, it'll. Okay.
If your head doesn't come back, I'm not gonna be happy.
You hold on to my hand. I stick my hand through first, and that one's gonna hold on to your hand and stick her hand through.
Hurry up!
Yep.
You stick your hand in.
Okay.
Okay. It's like sticking your hand through jelly. And you can feel like the liquid gold like pass through your fingers. And that jellification kind of continues until you get probably about like to the start of your forearm. And then your fingertips come out into air. And it's a little warm, but that's better.
Okay,
like
I'm gonna pull my hand back through. There's another side, and I'm going to offer both my hands to Hiroki and Mara, and then I'm going to stick my head in.
Okay.
Okay. It's
very
like sticking
unpleasant.
your head in jelly. It's very unpleasant. Despite being very clearly molten gold, it is freezing. So it's just like ice bucket. Like it's not pleasant. But you do eventually kind of like pass through the other side. You see this very small, probably like 15 by 15, but it's circular, so it feels a little more enclosed. It's just a circular room. You don't see any what appear to be like any doors in this room. The entire room is made out of gold, or at least it appears to be gold. Just solid plates of metal all the way around the outside. There are a few things you see in this room at first glance. One, you see 4 of those tall mechanical-esque suits of armor that you had battled with previously, but they are very clearly inactive. There's no runes on them. There's no like obvious magic. There's no, like gold sparkles or anything that were coming off originally. There's the original insignia in the chest that is very clearly been carved into the metal, and that is it. So they're not actually, they're being held there by mannequins because there's no magic that's kind of keeping them together. So there's 4 of those off to the side. There is some kind of arcane scratchings into the floor, like almost like a little summoning circle of sorts, etched into the floor. There is a table, a chair, a book, and then a familiar set of robes. They're very simple, they're very basic. They're a little kind of torn up, but what makes them so familiar is they are covered in a gray-white powder.
Where have I seen that powder before?
Right now, it's settled, but it was definitely aerosolized at some point. Looks awfully like the residue of a smoke bomb.
Oh, is that the explosion that went off? I don't remember. I wasn't there for that.
Mm-hmm. You had seen
Yes.
the
Yes.
detonation of the smoke and some loud noises inside. And then you had seen an individual fly off away from it before you attempted to give chase. And this is indeed the same outfit. But other than that, yeah, just there's a table, there's a chair, and there's a a book.
I'm
like
going
laid out on the table.
to
That's it.
shake. I'm gonna pull my head back out and say, "Hang on to this rope. I'll be right back," because I'm still tied to the rope. It's safe for now, and I'm going to dive in. And I want to get that book. I want to get that book. If it's the last thing that we can do in this portal, that's what I'm going for. I'm quick. I will shift into my swift stride, whatever shifter, so I can literally sprint in and grab book, sprint out.
You head on in. You nab the book off the table. Run back.
Is there any door?
Nothing else in this room.
No door. The only entrance is this portal.
No door.
Okay.
No door. Correct. And that is literally it. One thing you do notice, now that you've stepped into here, as you kind of shift, your features feel painfully identical. It's a weird kind of, not literally painful, but like obviously identical. It's a very weird feeling as you step into here, you shift, and like as you're sprinting forwards, you notice like all of your nails are exactly the same length. Perfectly the same length. You feel the natural asymmetry of your face has kind of evened out a little bit. All of your eyelashes are exactly the same length. It's a very weird experience.
Like if I held
don't really have...
both my hands up together, you don't have a slightly larger hand. It'd be exactly the same.
No, they are perfectly the same. It's just kind of the little things that you notice as you sprint in and sprint back. If it wasn't quite so
my
rigidly
scoliosis
regimented, like
is
everything
cured. I got it. I understand.
Same.
That one's like, man, those knights hunched over reading books behind me. I feel great, but also extremely put off. Understood.
I laugh because I'm crying inside because God, if only my scoliosis could be fixed that fast. But yeah, you grab the book, absolutely fine. You notice the book at like a quick glance, like everything is exactly symmetrical. Both sides of the paper are exactly the same length. All of the sentences on both sides are exactly the same length. As you head out, you don't run into any issues. As you come back into the material plane, and everything returns to normal.
I hated that. Ugh. I found a book. The guy that ran away from us was definitely in that room at some point. His clothes are hanging. Also, some of the mechanical robots. You're free to look in. It's entirely made of gold. I don't know how much longer this portal has. But there's no other door. So this pointing at the portal is the only entrance in or out of that place. Oh shit, the runes! I'm gonna say that in character. I'll say that. I should have looked at the runes. There are runes on the floor. I didn't look at them.
Hiroki, runes seem to be more of your specialty than mine. If you want to look in really, really, really quick, as she's looking
Is
at
the portal shrinking at all? Or is it just
portal
kind of
gonna
like
close.
wavering? Yeah.
No. The
Or is it like
Like flickering?
the magic around the outside is beginning to flicker
Okay.
a little bit, but the main portal itself seems to hold just fine. You've got a bit more time, but probably not. Not a lot.
Everything's
take a
gonna
look.
feel exactly the same. That's all I'm gonna say to you. That's all Dawn says to you. It's just warning, everything's going to feel exactly the same. You'll understand.
having no idea what this means. Hidoki's just gonna throw his head in. Are the runes on the floor like visible from the portal, or do you have to actually like step in?
You step in, and the same phenomena overtakes you as you first of all plunge into this ice cold gold jelly, and then as you step out of the other side, you feel everything. Your awareness of yourself kind of clues you in to the changes that seem to take place. This slight realignment that makes you a little uncomfortable in your own skin.
That's weird.
You do indeed see the same scene before you, these four kind of not so animated armors. The table, the chair, the outfit kind of just strewn across the side near one of the walls, and then this circle. If you can go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Uh, 13?
Okay. You recognize the magic on a very base level, just because it's not massively uncommon where you come from. This is essentially a summoning portal for a planar rift, which in language sounds a lot more aggressive than it actually is, but it is essentially just a window that can be opened up to another plane of existence that is short-lived and controlled. Very difficult to master. Can be kind of commodified, but with great effort from the individuals who are creating it. Judging by the magical abilities that you had seen from the person you had combated, probably not them. They were nowhere near skilled enough to be able to create something like this. But yeah, it's usually used for summoning people or individuals or things from other planes. Instead of this huge like ritual every time you're ready to summon something, you just open a rift and they would be able to step through, but there would have to be some kind of conversation or understanding or some kind of arrangement. It is the most permanent connection to another plane that you can get without creating like full-on portals. You would just know that from some of your encounters in the past, but where it goes to or who made it or anything like that, no idea.
Had no time to figure that out.
No, not with the 13, I'm afraid.
He'll steal himself and then just jump back through.
And when you come back through, Mara's standing there with a book and a pencil, write down the runes.
Roll to remember the runes.
This is Mara's answer to everything. I don't need to understand runes. I just need to know what they look
look
like.
like.
And I can ask someone else.
You can go ahead and jot down, like, nothing in the rooms was specific as far as you know, with a 13 at least. So you just write down what you've, the magical spell that you've seen before, essentially. A few pieces missing, but the majority enough to be recognizable and to know exactly what it is.
I can and tell Mara what it is and what it can do. I
Okay.
may have gotten some of the runes a bit off, but I can tell you exactly what it does and what it is, and what it's for.
Okay. We will take this with us and ask someone else who may be more familiar with this.
Unfortunately, I don't know where it goes.
I mean,
They-
maybe that's just the
This is
the
true,
back door,
but
the exit
we-
door. There weren't any doors in that room.
But to another
But-
plane?
Could it have taken you to another plane? That circle? Like if the guy went in there, could he have used the circle to get somewhere else?
Most likely. Or bring something in.
That could then have taken him somewhere else. Okay, so we know where this is now, and we can always either get magic that will let us back in there, make this gate more stable. But at least we know where it is and what it does, and who I have to murder.
Mars still
Oh,
off
I
the
mean,
blood. I got you.
he took
When
5
you said that
cats.
I saw
5.
4, I was like, oh, it's the cats. And then
I
you
don't
said
know where they
robots, and I got
are.
extremely disappointed.
I know, me too. It's okay. We found the
But this
cats
is
that we
fine.
came to save.
I suppose while Hiroki was in there, I'm gonna crack this book open. Is it still exactly the same? Like I did every sentence the same. Not sentence the same, but the same distance.
No. No. As
Feel
you
justified.
as you've stepped down, the book returns to its regular form. This appears to be another kind of diary, but this one is one, definitely more personal, and two, not coded. It's
Idiot.
just written in common. It's not very long. It's not a lot written in here. The first section is just a kind of an introduction. So literally the first thing it says is, oh, I can't believe I'm still doing this, but I guess I should follow their advice and put my thoughts somewhere. And kind of goes in to introduce themselves. They refer to themselves as Kasim. They are an individual who fell upon hard times and was struggling to make ends meet, essentially. They had kind of bounced between various different career paths and nothing had quite fit. And they ended up talking to the wrong person and getting into a pretty serious situation, which ended up in them being blackmailed. Part of this blackmail was essentially to start this business, this trading business for them, of selling and trading and shipping all of these animals. And this book goes into a lot more detail about the actual situation that they were in. They had no idea who they were sending them to. They had no idea who they were being sent from. They were literally just the middleman. They were clued out in all ways. They had shipped many, many, many animals by this point, to various different places across Vega. And they were very clearly not happy with their work. and very not happy about the situation they were in. They felt very guilty. They tried to get out of the situation multiple times and it backfired. So at this point, they just kind of settled into it and just gone, you know what, eventually this will all be over and then it'll be fine. So yeah, Kasim has had a pretty difficult time. This kind of changes a little bit more towards the end as they talk about coming into contact with an individual called Ty, who had looked out for them, had found out that they were in a bit of a struggle, and had started to essentially not only be like, oh, you know, it's fine. Here's some food. Here's a different shelter. You know, you can go ahead and stay with us and stay with me, and it will be fine. But Ty had also been looking into the blackmailer and had looked into who or what exactly this individual represented. And the thing that you notice is there's a lot of glancing mentions to the same renegade faction in Tarkiza that you had heard about before. This renegade faction who had broken away from the nest and had begun dealing with far shadier and far more messed up things than the nest is usually involved with. And that's kind of where the diary ends, just with a little bit of, you know, I'm still stuck in this situation and I absolutely hate this, but at least I have someone that seems to be looking out for me. And kind of mentions that at the very, very end, mentions that Kasim, was going to meet Ty tomorrow at the bar for a discussion on what happens next.
Ray, did we behead Kasim? Okay.
Yeah, no.
The party might not know, but can I, Jesse, find out who beheaded Kasim?
You don't know. You have no idea.
I guess we'll find out when we meet Ty and be like, so can you describe Kasim? Does he have a panther head? Did he have a panther head? He no longer has the head of a panther. Or any head. Now.
Not inaccurate, I guess. Yeah, you have no idea. You haven't encountered an individual with that name in Tarkiza so far as you're aware. So, yeah.
And as far as we know, there's no real law in Tarkiza, right?
Not an official law, no. Tarkiza is controlled by the Nest. And the Nest is a very
but we did get a
ambiguous
message, or we did find a sending stone with Ty's name on it, or with a note with Ty's name on it. So this is not the. I remember this.
Correct.
There was
indeed
message wrapped around a
the
sending stone that said,
who
"Ask for
defeated.
Father Ty at the bar." I wrote this down. Helpful note is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does the diary mention which bar? Oh, okay. Let's see.
There's only one bar in Tarkiza. It is the place where you had, it's the tavern / bar / meeting area that you had visited beforehand. Partly as a community thing, partly because the Nest very clearly runs the place. So, you know, who needs competition when you are the only people running the place?
Still the same day we arrived in Tarkiza?
Yeah, although you'd be reaching towards the end of the day at this point.
I want to make sure, because we only have 3 days before the ship's leaving.
Yeah. this has all been. I know that we've had scheduling drama, but yeah, like the in game, you're probably approaching like late afternoon, early evening at this point.
I think we need to meet with Father Chai at some point. We should probably go tell the group.
Do we need to meet with Father Tai?
No, I guess not. But if Father Tai knows this whole smuggling ring and all of those animals are currently in stasis, if we find who's behind the smuggling ring, maybe they know how to break the animals out of stasis. And also, whoever's smuggling these animals, we can't find the 5 cats. They're not
That's
in
true.
this basement. They're not upstairs. They're not in the gold room of freakiness. How did you take? It was weird, right, Hiroki? It was weird. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Everything is the
You
same.
weren't wrong about everything is the same.
Why won't someone make
It's
room where everything is the same?
like everything on your body is the same. If we looked at this is important, Ray. I know I said the hand thing before, but if we had looked at our hands, are all of our fingers the same, or is it just like perfect ratio world? Okay, that would be
All of your fingers were not the same
unnerving.
length. No, that would be incredibly weird.
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
perfect ratio
but
world.
like putting your 2 hands together, all of your fingers are yeah, same size, same width, etc., etc.
Okay. So our plans are
We go get everyone else.
Everyone else.
We rest. Which we
Well, we rest. And then tomorrow we go to the bar because the entry was dated today, as in today's date, or was it not dated at
Dear
all?
diary.
Ray, that question's for you.
The entries in the diary were not dated, no.
not
But
dated.
the ink
Someone's
looks
gonna give
recent
the
enough.
book a
Like,
good old
in
sniff.
comparison to the
Does it smell new?
In comparison to the coded journal that you had picked up and the jacaranda is still trying to get sorted. In comparison to that, this is very new. The most recent entry was probably between the last like couple of days.
So we go back, regroup with our friends. We leave the dank, gross tunnel, cave, basement. We get some rest. I think we all need some rest. And we visit Father Tai at the tavern. There's only one tavern. This is the second time that this person's name has been mentioned.
Didn't the barkeep tell us the name of the guy who was upstairs that had the Pokeballs?
I don't think a name was ever mentioned. No.
I thought he told us the name. And we went up there and we saw, like, are you such and such?
Check the VODs.
I swore he told us the name, but I didn't write it down. So if you say it didn't happen, it didn't
Check
happen. I could check the VODs. I will check the VODs.
the individual who had the animal was not Tai. I can tell you that for a fact. If their name
was he Kasim?
It was not Tai. You don't know.
Okay, I will go back and check the VOD. I swear he gave us a name. Okay. So we're gonna go talk to Tai. And how are we gonna approach this?
We're going to
You killed your friend
We'll
Kasim.
go
We
to
want
the
to know
bar
who's
and
blackmailing
ask
him.
to
I
see Father
mean,
Ty. Ask for Father.
that sounds like a whole
Was
trap.
there? I don't remember. I guess I can also check the bar. I don't know. I don't remember if there was like a coded message that we had to see Father Ty. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Okay.
There was
It
no
was
message
just-
on the note with the sending stone.
Okay.
It was literally just go and speak
I
to,
think it was
to Father Ty.
literally, yeah.
But it sounds like he already met with Father Ty.
Well,
if
if
they have been talking.
if you had already met with someone that you're supposed to ask for at the bar using a sending stone, would you hold on to the note that said to go to the bar to ask for the person? I think at that point I would have gotten rid of the note and kept with the sending stone.
But according to
This is
the book,
And just
he already
called
this
on the
is
sending
who
stone?
was
we
helping
found
him.
the note
Yeah,
on
maybe
the
they-
body of. If we're still in the room, Dawn's just gonna point to the body. Oh, we were supposed to speak with dead. Oh no, I think I have the head in my bag of holding. I do. I have the head in the bag of
I
holding.
distinctly remember
So,
someone taking the head.
I should put that
Yep,
in my notes.
you do
I'm going
indeed
to
have the head.
motion towards the headless body on the ground. We found the stone in that individual's pockets, and that could be Kasim. That could not be Kasim. Mm-hmm.
From what you just read, Kasim
Yes.
already
And
knows
what
Father
I'm
Ty.
saying
Or has already
is
talked to him.
that this individual that we have found in the basement that leads to a secret room that leads to Kasim's golden room had a note with a sending stone that was asking for Father Ty. If it was Kasim, it would make no sense for Kasim to hold on to this note. So that's for someone else. This is someone I'm willing to stake on my grandmother's grave, and she's not dead, cookies. This might not be Kasim.
Okay, so if it's not Kasim, how do we approach Father Ty? What are we going to say?
I would generally start with hello.
Kasim.
Well, yes, but
We could
sometimes
also just say that
hello
Kasim
leads
left
to
us a note,
punches.
a note
What?
and a sending
What?
stone that said to ask for Father Ty at the bar.
Couldn't we just call whoever's on the other end of the sending stone?
It might be safer. We could use the sending stone while we're
There's
in the
6
bar.
of us.
to
I'm
see
sure we could split into
who
2
picks up.
groups of 3. The strongest, Nawi, Jacaranda, Hiroki? No, Hiroki,
Not
you should go. The
really.
strongest
Iris.
and Hiroki, with the power of friendship, could go meet with Father Ty. While you, me, and I don't think Iris should meet anyone in person to try and befriend. I mean, they're very friendly, but they can be very off-putting to strangers in the very blunt give away secrets sort of way. Not give away secrets, but very blunt in your face.
So
So
we're
we
the
use
second
the sending
3 of
stone.
us are going?
You're good at talking. The sending stone is all about talking.
I mean, well, why do we have to split up to do that?
To cover more ground.
Okay. I guess. The sending stone's kind
so
of
we
portable.
could use it from
we
the
could
bar
use it from
with another
anywhere.
team. We just wouldn't have to be right there next to Father Ty using
Right.
it. That's what I meant. We could be in a dark
Oh, okay.
a dark corner using it.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I thought you meant like
no, all of us
like we were
can
gonna
go
stay
to the
here
bar,
and use the
but
sending stone
perhaps
while the other group
6
goes to the bar. I'm
very
like, what?
colorful individuals do not need to surround one very potentially dangerous man or potentially innocent man with threats.
I mean, we could just
Yeah, but what if
ask around, find out
Father
what
Ty is
people know
dangerous and
about
then it
Father
gets back
Ty.
to Father Ty and other people become involved? What if we talk to the wrong person?
Just go ask the bartender. He knows everything.
First we rest.
Resting
First
sounds
we
like a good
rest.
idea.
We go back to
Hello,
the
friends. We've
greenhouse.
done some sleuthing. Here's everything that's happening. Let's time to go. We're gonna go take a nap, and then we're gonna confront or not confront. Definitely the bartender and potentially someone else.
The three of you just rock up to the rest of the party. Okay, here's the plan. Okay. After gathering some additional information, finding out some interesting little tidbits, you can go ahead and retreat back to the greenhouse here. As everyone is preparing for their next move, we'll go ahead and wrap up the session there. That was a lot more lore and stuff that I was expecting, but it was all good. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like we had
Definitely
time to
wasn't-
ask the questions. Come on.
It's not like I did not plan on y'all going like, hey,
What if we just made the
made
portal again and rolled a nat 20?
Yeah, that's when he really did matter. That was the tipping point. That was an excellent nat 20. Fantastic. Yeah, cool. Awesome. That was good fun. I enjoyed that. Why don't we go ahead and go around the horn here and let people plug what they want to plug real quick. Say where people can find you and all of that lovely, lovely stuff. We'll start with Rochelle.
I'm going to keep it short tonight. Hi, I'm Rochelle, Dragon Gem here on Twitch. You can find me on my own channel on Sundays, and you can find me on Twitter for anything else I end up doing.
Hello, I'm Jessie, Jahus the Moose on the
Jessie.
interwebs. I do art things. I'm going to be posting the art things. I keep saying this every week, but I mean it this time, except that I will have to wait until the end of September because I'm going to be in Italy next week. So you won't see me next week. I'll be eating tons of pasta. Yeah, that's it. I do art.
Is that it? Okay.
That was it.
Yeah, I
Ending
was
on
say I'm not
pasta.
gonna be here
Pasta,
next week.
mic
You
drop,
thought
you know.
I did my Twitter handle. I said what I did.
Fair,
I
fair.
designed. I guess you could like buy my art stuff on like Rusty Quill. I designed this shirt. Woo. Woo. I'm literally wearing my own.
Literally wearing your own merch, and you were focused on the pasta.
And like
instead.
there are other design. Anyways, I do art stuff. Check out my art stuff on my Twitter or my Instagram. I'm gonna post more. I'm working on some commissions, and once I finish those commissions, I'm just going to do a gigantic art dump. The biggest dump in the world.
Biggest dump in the world.
Yay, art.
And Akemi.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hi, I'm Akemi. I played Hiroki, your magical hot boy warlock. You can find me on the interwebs at Ninja Penguin AM, where I am. I think it's Twitter, and that's about it. I make games. I sometimes play them. Oh, I'm in a mech game every other Wednesday on I forget where. I'm really good at this.
That's all good. Everyone always forgets something. It always happens. It's just, it's one of those things with outros. Yeah, as always, support all of these lovely people in everything they do. Big love to Austin, to Izzy, and to Ellis, who will hopefully be rejoining us soon. Yeah, I'm Ray. You can find me at Red Mage Ray on Twitter. You can also find me doing stuff up front and behind the scenes here at Friends Who Roll Dice. I'm doing a couple of things. I'm still working on a couple of RPGs that I'm trying to get done and sorted. Trying to recover from on and off bout of illness for the past few months. So I've been a little bit quieter and stressed out, but we move. And then you can also find me on Saturdays. Currently, I'm doing 2 games on Saturdays at the moment. I am on Maori Nerd's channel for Journeys of the Radiant Citadel, which is in a UK-friendly time zone, which is wild to me. I'm playing Dr. Evangeline McCree, a archaeologist who basically just reverse dungeon delves and returns things back to where they should be, which is incredibly fun. And also playing Kyra over on A Minstrel's Tales channel for Rime of the Frost Maiden. Kyra is a fairy clockwork sorcerer, so that's been super fun as well. Hopefully we should be back next week. I'm very excited for it. But yeah, that's me currently. And we shall go ahead and kind of just wrap up here, send the love that you've given us elsewhere, and get some rest. So yeah, I hope you had a wonderful time. Hopefully we get to see you next week. Lord, drama, excitement. It's been fantastic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to catch up with the series on YouTube as well, or on Twitch right here, if this was your first time popping in. So yeah. And with that, thank you so much. Stay medicated, stay hydrated, take care, and we will see you next time. Keep moving forward. Bye-bye.